Tim Anderson. So believe it or not, it was my my three-part plan to do this over 3 different videos today. So I started talking about constitutional carry this morning and why we need constitutional carry. That's 1 video down. And one thing that I talked about is that if you have a gun in your car and it's in your purse, you have to have a permit for that. And I want to emphasize that a little bit further. So last week, this case came across my desk and I've been reading it and I've been thinking about it and I've been paying attention to it. It's a case that was decided on May 13th, 2021. It's the case of Dorian Myers. Now, essentially what this case holds is that there is an exception in your vehicle about a gun being in your car, and you don't have to have a handgun permit. And the exception under Virginia law says if the firearm is in a secured container. Well, Mr. Dorian Myers had a gun in his car in a backpack. And what the Supreme Court came out with is they had a holding, and it is on the last page of page 10. I'm going to put the case up here for everybody to have because you may need this someday. The Supreme Court of Virginia said that a secured container includes a fully latched rigid container as well as a fully zipped soft container, such as one made of cloth, canvas, or leather, which would be a backpack. Okay. So, the Supreme Court has ruled that a backpack would be an exception to having a firearm in your car, not needing a concealed handgun permit under a couple of certain things that we have to talk about. 1, you must have it completely zipped up, all right? If it is partially zipped, you don't get the exception. If it's 99% zipped, you don't get the exception because the Supreme Court says that it has to be fully zipped. So the backpack has to be fully zipped, and you might get that exception. Now, would that apply to a purse? Well, I would suspect so. If you have a purse and it is fully zipped and there is a gun in the purse, you would get that exception. But this case causes more trouble than you can imagine. First off, let's just talk about women. Let's say that you are a female, you're home, and you put the gun in your purse, and you zip it closed, and you walk out into a parking garage, say you're in your office, and you walk into your parking garage, and you get into your car. From the time you are leaving your office room to the time you get to the car, you're in public with a concealed handgun in your bag. There would be no exception to you outside of your vehicle. So you would be breaking the law getting to your car. Once you're in your car, if that bag is even opened a little, you don't get that exception. Now, again, this is what I've been talking about all day, and I had to finish it right here. This is why we have to revoke Virginia's concealed carry laws and go constitutional carry, because if the woman is in her car and she has a gun in her purse and it is 95% zipped, she is breaking the law and subject to a year in jail and a $2,500 fine. If it is fully zipped, she gets the exception. Does this woman cause any more danger to the public if her bag is 70% zipped rather than 100% zipped? What are we doing? Now, I mean, I'm thankful that the Supreme Court ruled this way because more exceptions are good for defense lawyers and more exceptions give us the ability to fight for people who are in cases. But the reality is this: unless you have a law degree, unless you get constant updates from the Supreme Court about cases, how would you even know about this if you're not subscribing to my channel? It's absurd. And more importantly, how does it make anybody safer to say that if you have it in your backpack, that's 100% zipped, it's secured, but if it's only 80% zipped, it's not? How does it make anybody safer that you are breaking the law going from your indoor part to your vehicle because you don't have a concealed handgun permit from the inside to your vehicle, but then you're in your vehicle, you get an exception? Oh my gosh, what are we doing, Virginia? I don't blame the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is handed a bunch of ingredients to make a big pot of crap stew here, and that's what's happening. But It just needs to go away. We're not making anybody safer. And this case makes it, it actually asks more questions than it answers, because it's going to have to now be adjudicated. What happens if the person has their bag 80% shut? Does that mean fully? I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And we don't need it. That's why it needs to go away. I'm going to put this case up here. It's worth talking about. This is a legal conversation. And I'm going to put it up there for you to look at. Page 10 has the court's finding right there in that final paragraph. And you may want to take a look at it. It may be important someday if you were dealing with law enforcement and you have a gun in your purse and you don't have a concealed handgun permit. Make sure it's zip tight, and then you're legal. If it's not zip tight, you're a criminal. Go to jail. Don't pass go. Have a good day.